Go get him, Jeff! Go get him, Jeff! Go get him, Jeff! Go get him! Yeah! Woo!
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my second video in my intro to semi-pro football. So last video I had talked about how I had just gotten introduced to semi-pro football, and I think I ended where we had played with the Bengals and decided that wasn't where we were going to play. So me and my friend, we kind of talked, and we ended up deciding to go play with the Kentuckiana Cavalry. A lot of people call them the Cavs, out of southern Indiana. And it turned out their practice field was only like 2 or 3 minutes away from my house. So I went to the first couple practices, and then they needed a few players to go to like a media day. So me and my friend ended up going to this media day. It was in like Cincinnati, Ohio. And the Cavs played in the BCFL. So the media day was like for all the teams in the BCFL. So it was kind of a cool experience. That was pretty neat. And then I started going to the practices, you know, the Cavs practices, and I was really new to semi-pro, so for like a lot of players that are new, it takes some time for, a lot of these guys have been playing together for years, some of them since high school and stuff, so they know the other guys, they know that these other guys can play. A lot of these guys had no clue who I was, so it takes some time to develop that trust and like, hey, I can actually play football. So I was going to the practices and, you know, doing my best, but then we had our first scrimmage versus the Ravens out of Louisville, and I'll post a couple clips from this game, or from that game, but I ended up doing really well. I think I finished, we only played like a half a game. I think we played like 2 quarters, and I ended up with like between 8 and 10 tackles. I had a sack, two fumble recoveries, a forced fumble, and then I had this really big hit towards the end of the game. But I'll post a couple clips from that game.
No, I understand that.
Hey, he's better than you. Boy's name. I like him.
He's better than you.
He's better than you. Okay, Steph. Everybody else is trash. Good hit, Steph.
Oh, look, he's on the fly. Man, get him! Man, get his ass!
So after that, I think a lot of the players were like, oh, this kid can actually play football. So I kept going to practices, and then the final practice before the season started, the coach named me as one of the starting linebackers. So that was a really cool experience. You know, a lot of my hard work had paid off, and that was pretty cool. But it also like solidified to me, oh, like I can play with these guys, right? Again, if you haven't watched the first video, I'd never played football in high school or anything, so all of this was a new experience for me, right? So, so as for the season with the Cavs, I started every game that year. The first couple games, very first game was kind of getting my feet wet, just kind of a whole new experience. The second game I did well. We played the Indianapolis Tornadoes, and I think I got like 8 tackles. And then the third game, I remember telling the coach like right before the third game, it's like, man, like tackles are cool, but like I really want to make plays, like you know. And he told me, he's like, never underestimate the value of doing your responsibility, and that's a big deal, right? Don't for young players, like, don't try to be the hero, just do your job, and then eventually if you do your job, you will end up being the hero. And I'll post a clip. This was in the third game. I'll post a clip. This was my first like big play in semi-pro, and you can tell by my celebration I was pretty excited. So I'll post that clip. But you know, that was my third game. I think we ended up playing like 10 games that season. We ended up going, let's see, 8-2, I believe, maybe. And then, but yeah, I'll post a few highlights up here from that season. unfortunately, we ended up going 8-2, but unfortunately we ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs to the Indy Bison. So that was kind of a bummer. You know, it sucks when you lose, but some things are out of your control. You know, the whole year we had ran a 4-3 defense, and we had like arguably one of the best defenses in the league. And then in the playoff game, we ended up switching to a 4-2-5, and so they pulled me out of that game. So I only played like one play, and then we ended up going to a 4-2-5. So I played a little bit of special teams, but that was pretty much it. So, you know, unfortunately, I mean, it happens, right? You can only control what you can control. So one thing that was really cool, in my very first year, I got named to the All-Star team. So that was really a neat experience. I got to go to Cincinnati, I got a jersey, and got to play in the All-Star game. But unfortunately, I ended up breaking my thumb in the All-Star game. There was a play where they handed the ball off to the running back, and I helped make the tackle, but we forced a fumble too, but my thumb got broke on that play. I didn't even know it was broke. I thought, you know, maybe I pulled something. I knew when I got up, it's like, this feels a little weird. But I finished the game. I got 6 more tackles. But yeah, I'll post a couple clips from that game as well. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. But then, you know, at the end of the season, I broke my thumb. I ended up having to have surgery. I had to have pins put in it. I still have a nice little scar on my thumb from it. So that was kind of the end of the 2023 season, my very first season in semi-pro. And then that kind of went into my off season, like, all right, now I've got to recover from this thumb injury, but also kind of deciding what to do for the next year. Do I play again? If so, do I stay with the Cavs? Do I go somewhere else? So I kind of had a lot of things going through my mind. So yeah, that's probably all I'm going to talk about in this video, and then I'm going to post one more video that's talking about my experience last year and what I ended up doing last year for football, and then that'll get us caught up to our present situation. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys taking the time. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Peace.